A couple days until your fight. How are you feeling? A couple days until your fight. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good, man. The anxiety before the fights is the feeling that I really enjoy it. So it's pretty good to be on this moment.
How relieving was it last in your last fight to be back, get a win, get a finish like you always like to do? How relieving was that?
What a great feeling! The coming back after like almost 2 years out doing the surgery, the injuries and stuff, was pretty good to come back, fight against a tough guy, really strong and talent guy, and get a submission in the first round was just perfect for me. I was really looking for that, for the 6 points and uh, do everything that I can to get my place for the playoffs.
How was there any ring rust?
I'm sorry.
Were you rusty at all? Like
After the fight,
yeah.
yeah, we always take like a week off. I used to go to Brazil to see my friends, my family, enjoying a little bit, have some like fun time. Go to the beaches and everything. So I always try to do that to fresh my mind and even my body. Let it heal and come back even stronger.
After having basically 2 years off and being thrown right back into the tournament, was your mind and body ready to go back to back again?
Yeah, after the fight, I could say that it is. For sure. Sometimes you question yourself. Especially like I never been so long. Like out of the cage. But when I get there, and I could fight. I see that I feel that good feeling again. The feeling that you're ready and that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to be the champion again.
What are your thoughts on the matchup with Alex Polizzi? Obviously, he's a wrestler. You're known for your grappling. Is that kind of what we're gonna see?
For sure. Yeah. It's hard not to see a grappling on this match, right? Like he's a great wrestler. He looks very strong. Get a good positions over there. Take a lot of like strong guys down. And I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, so we both grapplers. So let's see who's gonna do best on the ground.
Awesome. And how do you see this fight ending?
I hope gonna get another submission. We always looking for a submission, but I gotta see what the fight gonna present. I try never force anything. It's MMA. You can't force anything. You just make the things present itself. When it does, you just gotta get it and don't let it go. Thanks, man.
Antonio, when we did an interview leading up into the first fight, you had talked about just how excited you were to be back and how excited you were to be back, and that part of the reason that drove you to come back from injury is you wanted to be champion again. I kind of wanted to build off what you were just asked, get the feeling of relief, but personally, mentally, emotionally, did you have a moment after the first fight back where you kind of told yourself, this is what you worked for, this is what you came back for?
After the last fight?
Yes.
Yes. I was training, but like when you're fighting, constantly, it's different. The feeling is totally different. So it's different when you're in the cage, when you're competing like for real, right? After the fight, I got my confidence back. I could feel that good feeling that I said, of being back, be competing, because it was pretty hard for me to be out all this time, see the guys competing and fighting and improving and everything, and I was just doing like physical therapy. That was pretty hard for me, man, to be honest. So after the fight, I could feel the relief and the desire, to keep going, keep like running for the belt.
Can you expand on that just a little bit, just of how you said it's different when you're training, your mental state, right? When you're training to come back from injury compared to now you're fighting, you're not working to get back anymore, you're just working to go get a title. Can you kind of talk about the difference in your mental state from training to your mental state from active fighting?
Yeah, like when you're training, in some way you're in the comfort zone, right? Like you can do some mistakes that you cannot do in the fight. So there is a lot of different feelings when you competing for real. You know, for sure I get a lot of tough guys at the gym. I'm training at ATT. There is a lot of monsters over there, and we go we train really hard and we compete with each other. But for sure we're not gonna. For sure we are able to do some mistakes that if you're doing the fight, you're gonna lose and you cannot do that.
There's obviously no easy assignments in the PFL, and you've obviously got another tough matchup here. You talked about just how much you love the kind of confidence that PFL has had, and you kept you around, stuck with you throughout your comeback into it. What does it say to you about what PFL, the matchups you're getting here with the PFL, and just what they're showing, how high you're up on the card?
I'm sorry.
Just how do you feel about the confidence that PFL has shown in you, giving you obviously these great matchups and where they're putting you on the card? They stuck with you as you were recovering. Just the confidence they showed in you. What does that mean to you?
I think the PFL tried to make the best matchups possible. You know, they put me against Simon Bion, who is a really tough and strong guy, as you could see, and now they pick some grappler to see how it's going. I remember in 2021 they put me against Vini Magalhães, who is a great grappler too. So they just try to make the best matchups possible on these ends, you know.
After such a long layoff, you're one win away from getting back to the playoffs, getting back to that belt that brought you back after the injury. How does it feel knowing you get the job done this week, you're right back and you're where you want to be and where you worked so hard to get back to?
Yeah, it's gonna be really important for me. You know, it takes so long. It was a really tough time. As I said, it's not easy. It's a nightmare for every athlete to get injury. You know, and had to pass through a surgery and all this time out. Was a pretty tough time. And being back, you know, go to the playoffs. The playoffs gonna be in Florida. You know, it's my backyard, so it's gonna be really important. It's really good. It's the place where I won the championship in 2021. So I'm gonna do everything that I can to be on these playoffs and pass for the finals and get this belt.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right, Gabriel, why don't you kick us off on the Zoom portion?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So obviously back in action. I was wondering, looking at the standings, several of the guys did really well in that first half. Is there more pressure because it's not often you have so many people with so many points in the tournament?
Was crazy, huh? I think that never happened in PFL, right? Everybody got 6 points. Everyone get a knockout or submission in the first round. So was crazy, man. Was a crazy night. You know, even getting 6 points, I'm in the 5th place. But there's no pressure at all. You know, I just have to keep doing my job and do the best that I can. You know, and I know if I win this fight, no matter what, I'm gonna go to the playoffs.
And then another question, just on that, can you walk us through what it's like inside the mind of a fighter in this situation? You're in the fight, you know it's possible that you could be left out of the playoffs if you don't get the points. You have to win the fight, obviously, and you don't want to make mistakes. So what are you thinking out there when you have to process all that information in real time?
I try not to think about that, to be honest. You know, as I said, if I win, just by decision, I go into the playoffs. So I try not to put any pressure on my back. I just try to do everything that we train at the gym and work on the game plan.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Tristan.
Antonio, how are you?
What up? Good, thanks, man.
Um, you're going through this season with the American top team training partner in Josh Silvero. What is that experience like, especially seeing both of you succeed in that first week of the regular season?
Yeah, we got like 3 guys from the ATT, right? Like there's me, Josh, and Davlet. I'm rooting for them for sure. It's gonna be hard if we face each other, but at the moment we're just trying to think about our, next opponent. I'm thinking about Alex Polizzi. He's thinking about Wilson, and Davlet thinking about Byung. So we try to focus on the next goal. And for some reason, like if you pass through the playoffs, we gotta fight each other. It's gonna be hard, emotionally saying, but we gotta do a job.
Do you guys already have a plan in place for if and when that happens, or do you kind of like you said, you just wait until it happens to address it so you can focus on the fight that's coming up?
Yeah, we gotta wait. You don't have to worry like too early. So we just we got a tough fight in front of us. So let's think about the next one. And in case we go to the playoffs and we gotta face each other, we're gonna talk. Because he's a good friend. They both are good friends. We train together. So definitely it's gonna be hard, but it is what it is. We gotta do our job. I can ask him not to fight me.
Thanks and good luck on Friday.
Thanks, man.
Zach.
Hey Antonio, you mentioned that both you and Alex are great grapplers, but how do you think you stand out on the feet?
I think especially for this fight, he gonna try to come hard, go hard and try to finish the fight. I don't know if he's gonna try to put me down and work on the ground and pound, or maybe throw some like hard punches. I see a lot of holes on his stand-up game, and I think I think I can use against him.
On your striking, people always think of you as a submission artist, but do you think your striking is underestimated by the other competitors in the PFL light heavyweight division?
Maybe, man. I got some knockouts, but wasn't the Ultimate Fighter, so it doesn't count. But I like to strike. I train boxing since I started on MMA, and I really like it. I train boxing like with Gabriel now. We always improving and get better. But because I see the chances to submit, I think that, to be honest, for me, it's better because I know I used to be better than these guys on the ground. So we always trying to find the best way to finish the fight. But I'm also confident on my striking, and I still have a lot to show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Andrew.
Hey Antonio, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, thank you so much for your time. Just wanted to ask, as one of the better grapplers in MMA, what are your thoughts on the growth of grappling in like ADCC competitions like ADCC, CGI? Do you think you'd ever get back to grappling full time after MMA?
I'm sorry, if you want, I'll get back to grappling.
Yeah, after MMA.
After MMA, maybe, man. I love competing. I can't live without it. I think after I'm done with MMA, I'm gonna start doing something else. Either boxing or grappling or whatever. They already invited me to fight on ADCC in 2019, but I got injury after a fight, so I couldn't go. But I'm looking forward to see how it's gonna be the ADCC this year. I don't know who's fighting, but it's always good to watch.
Hey, thanks so much, Antonio.
Thanks.
Jacob.
Hey Antonio, so you mentioned that there are 5 guys at the top, all with 6 points. Does it make preparing for this fight any easier knowing that no matter how you get a victory here, it doesn't need to be by finish or by decision? Does it make preparing for this fight any easier for you?
It's never easy at all. It's MMA, so it's always tough to be there fighting. I gotta win. If I don't win, I don't go, and I don't wanna lose. So we always try to do our best to get a good win. This fight, I don't need to submit in first, second, or third round, but I need to win the fight. So we're training hard for this, and I hope we're gonna get it.